everyone, I'm ArtzDeeva, and this is the first of a series of vlogs on making Left 4 Dead: The Return. I don't know how many of these I'll make, and I don't have a schedule for them whatsoever, but at the very least, I'll put these out between now and the release of the first episode, which will be November 17th, the anniversary of the games, of course. Now, I started writing a first draft on this vlog, and I realized I was waxing way too poetically on the reasons why I'm making this series. I mean, come on, ArtzDeeva, it's just Left 4 Dead. But it really does mean a lot to me, so I'll try to chill out just a little bit while still getting my passion and point across. So, why? Why am I making a Left 4 Dead series? And why now? Because as usual, I'm always late to my favorite things. I got into Left 4 Dead about 4 to 5 years ago, and my love for the series has only grown since then. I'd been playing around with an idea for a Left 4 Dead story that brought the remaining survivors back together for a couple of years, but none of the previous versions quite worked, and I frankly needed more time to strengthen my storytelling skills before undertaking something like this. And the game itself is not the most story-driven, but creating any continuation will require more emphasis on story and character. I did have the Sacrifice comic to look to as a bit of a blueprint for what I wanted to do, and in what I've been writing now, I'm trying to hold on to the key element that makes the Left 4 Dead games so good: simplicity. The story and characters don't need to get complicated. They just need a steady flow of natural development that makes sense in both the flow of the narrative and the world of the games. I'll admit it, I got a new bout of inspiration to write the story too because of the current state of the world right now. Living through a pandemic is something I never thought I'd share in common with the survivors. It's not a zombie apocalypse, but a lot of living and day-to-day routines have changed because of COVID-19. There's not too much about our pandemic directly reflected in the story, but there are the familiar feelings of isolation, exhaustion, and frustration we're all experiencing right now. Working on this series is also a very personal/therapeutic project for me as well. I've been going through therapy since last year, primarily for anxiety. And to keep it short and sweet, since starting therapy, the characters and their plight have taken on a lot more meaning to me than before. And as I'm going through my own healing, it's nice and familiar to work on a story about people trying to make the best of their situation and looking for some good in the middle of the chaos. Some of the survivors are having to learn to accept their new reality. Some are learning to work with others instead of going it alone. Some of them are working through grief. And they're all constantly finding ways to stay alive and maintain any sense of hope. But it's their optimism and cooperation that makes them so endearing and lovable. It's honestly super inspiring, and it gives me hope that I can make it through my own dark periods and come out of it alright. And on top of all this, I just want to see the two groups of survivors back together again. I loved the interactions they had in the passing and how they worked together after moving beyond their initial impressions of each other, and I'd love to put them on a path of finding their way back to each other. Plus, after watching Train to Busan for the first time not too long ago, I need a zombie story that doesn't end with all hopes dashed and everybody dead, you know? The reason why it's taken so long for me to get around to making this series is good old perfectionism. I know going into this that Left 4 Dead is something loved by a lot of people as well as myself. I know that even with all the research I've done into the lore, characters, and world of Left 4 Dead, I'm sure I'll make mistakes. I know that even with all the practice I do of environments and storyboards, my art could always be better. And I'm sure not everyone's gonna like the series, but if I want this to be a thing and it's something I care a lot about, I just gotta do it, you know? I'm sick of looking at all the false start scripts for the early versions of this story, and I'm not satisfied with this living inside my head. I've gotta make it, and I gotta do it now before more work and projects pop up in my life. So yeah, that's why I'm creating a Left 4 Dead series. I'm really excited to finally make this happen, and I can't wait to watch it as much as everyone else. The first episode, like I said, will drop November 17th, the second one will come out December 1st, and the third and final episode will be out December 15th. For now, updates on the project will be addressed in vlogs like this one and on my Instagram story. My Instagram is linked down below if you want to follow me there. And while I can't put out any dates at the moment, there will be a couple new trailers for the series closer to the first episode's release. With all that said, I think that's a wrap on this vlog. ArtzDeeva over and out.